Come here now, girl.
Hello and welcome to WhatsMap, your one-stop shop for everything workshop. I'm BonBonB and you're very, very welcome. Well, have I got a double treat for you today? Two maps which are truly iconic in their own individual distinct ways. Today's first map is a marshy map. Now, we've done this creator once in the past, also a marshy type map. They got 10 stars on that occasion, episode 1528, in case you wanted to go back and catch up on it. This one, I feel, is an improvement on that first one. Today's second map has been waiting since October 2019. I've really wanted to do this map so many times, but as you'll see, there's many reasons why it's kind of like a quirky but iconically quirky map, and I'm really glad it's been finally voted in by the buddies. Now, speaking of icons, that's right, you can be truly iconic by hitting that like button and maybe subscribing if you haven't already done so. Thank you very much for supporting the channel. Right, today's first map is Gator Bend by Waikalua. Now, the thumbnail, that's the loading screen thumbnail. I'd like to see a better one than that, please, Waikalua. Not that it really matters a huge amount, but it might just encourage somebody to play your map who's subscribed and hasn't got around to doing it yet. Start square looks good. Okay, happy with that. Terrain heights is fairly flat because it's a marshy style map, but it's not totally flat. We do have some little elevation changes. Also, if you want resources, resources are strong. I'm ahead of myself here. Resources are strong. If you've got Sunset Harbour and want to do some fishing, got a very interesting fishing map as well. There, you finally got the words out, BonBon. Well done. And then off to the workshop. Oh, what do we need? Well, it's a mass transit map. You will need mass transit for this one. There's a list of requirements on the right hand side. There is a one-click collection we'll have a look at in a moment. I'll talk about the requirements in a second. A big shout out there for Yumble and for Eggsy, nicely written description, and also an enormous props to me. Apparently I'm the Pope of map making. The Pope of map making. I'll take that. Anyway, here's that one-click collection. We'll be using the Bermuda theme, the realistic 1.2 LUT. You'll notice I'm not subscribed to the intersection, because you don't really need to, but it's nice that the link is in there. Also, no radioactive desert more is there. You kind of want that or hide it to get rid of the dead trees or the dying trees, the dead tree effect. I can't remember what it's called, but you know what I mean. The waterfront effect, that's the one. And also, network multi-tool is listed. It's a great little tool. It's not essential for the map, so I don't know quite why it's in the essential things list, but it's there. And we can survive with it. Anyway, where were we? Down to ground level. That's where we are on this map. Do you know what? This map has got loads of featurettes. If you like those little featurettes, little detailing areas, along with good networking, that's what we have here. We have it's a complex map, and complex in a very nicely designed way. You know what? We could have carried on. Carrying on would take us straight to the start square, more or less. I mean, more direct than what we're doing here. But as we're not going to come back to this little area later, I thought, you know what? We'd head down this way and I'll just show you this little area. There are a number of areas. This was like the biggest area, this little feature area that we weren't going to see if we didn't come down this way on the way to the start square. So we've done that now. We've had a little look now, okay? Yeah, let's say mass transit. Yes, we need mass transit for this one. Otherwise, half of your roads are going to be missing, and that's not very good for gameplay. So make sure you've got mass transit. And you should have mass transit anyway. Of all of the DLCs for a city builder game, mass transit is kind of like the de facto must-have. And then I think actually the new Plazas and Promenades DLC, along with, and I'm a big fan of After Dark, for the extra zoning and also for the bicycles. I think those three, if you're a city builder and you're thinking, oh, DLCs, those are the three. The others, do you know what? A lot of them are exceptional. A lot of people love the industries and the campus DLCs. For me, I know I'm waffling and I'm not talking about the map here. For me, they're great, but I don't think they're quite so essential for a city builder. Although industries, of course, is a major part of a city, so you can make an argument for that. A little bit of terrain glitching through the highways there, just a tiny bit, both sides of the roads on this side. On the other side, nothing. So that's good. Anyway, interesting looking intersection. Quite fan of that. You may have noticed a couple of big old bridges a little bit further down the road. We're actually going to go over one of those in a moment. We've got a little bit of tailback. The one thing with the map, which is going to hold it back just a little bit on score, is the road layouts do allow for a little bit of clogging, just a little bit. And it won't be to everyone's taste, because some people just like highways to take traffic in and out as quickly as possible. But now we're going to head across this big old bridge. Everybody loves a big old bridge. Yep. Rail on one side, road on the other. We'll follow the rail in a minute. And this takes us over into Start Square territory. Now this is a little bit elevated. You're not going to have much in the way of flooding in your Start Square, says he. You probably will now. But if we head down this way here, you'll see we've got a drop off to the river on the right there. There is a lake in the middle of the of this buildable area, so you have got access to water, which we'll check out in a moment anyway. But yeah, we've got a Start Square down here, which there's something a little bit enticing about it. It's been very nicely done, not overly done. Just a little bit of pre-built on there, just to entice you to get into the area. Maybe you might not want to build over some of those little bits, but you might want to use the pre-built roads as starting roads and upgrade them. I like that Start Square. There's something just like, I want to get my hands on it kind of feel to it, which is a rare thing. A rare thing that map makers can actually get me sort of like inkling of, oh, I really want to have a go. Anyway, onto the rail. Now, the thing is, yeah, this is a marshy map, okay? Not entirely, but this is a marshy map. If I'd seen a map like this about 5 years ago, or was it 6 years ago? Probably, oh, there is a little featurette area. I'll show you featurette areas as we come past them. Maybe what map may not exist. Because the very last map that I played before giving up of the workshop and deciding I needed to find the best map for my next city build was a marsh map, and it wasn't very good. It wasn't. And I'm sorry to that creator. I don't even remember what the map was. It's just long gone now. Historically disappeared from my memories. But this map here, something like this, had it existed back then, maybe what map would not exist, because I'd be too busy building on a map just like this one. Probably not quite as marshy as I would like it to be for what I was trying to do back then. But then maybe their previous map might have been more to my taste. But there are plenty of decent marshy type maps now on the workshop. But anyway, have a look at the design. The design and the planning, and it's almost alien. I love it. And have a little look here at the shipping routes, okay? Shipping routes, there we go. There's one down here. And there's kind of a little bit of an angular turn there, but it's, again, not anything that you're going to notice during gameplay, so that doesn't matter. It doesn't have to be pretty. As long as we don't have anything... Well, there's a shipping triangle. Possibly a little bit sharp here. Possibly. So, yeah, there's a little bit of cleaning up in one or two places. We've got a shipping route that heads right into the heart of the map. If you want to be doing a harbour right in the middle of the map, you can. We stop just shy of these bridges, right there. And there's even a pre-built little harbour area down here. Oh, let me have a look at this. I haven't pre-looked at this. Hang on, let's see if this is any fun. That's right. Do you know what? I'm bouncing a little bit. There we go. That's quite nice. That's quite charming. Very neat indeed. So yes, we've got that. We've got water flow in the Start Square. Now, you're not going to be expecting quite this, but they've done a very good job. Now, we've got a little bit edging onto the river here where you won't access the river. However, we do have some pipes down already with water towers. Well, that's okay. We haven't got any sewage outflow yet. You could do it here, and you could draw from here as well. We've got very strong water flow in this lake here. So you could pump and draw into there, and you will actually be, as long as you're getting it all right, you'll be fine. You won't poison your people, which is very nice indeed. Okay, and let's have a little look at some of these little areas. First of all, swampy area feels just right. We've got the right mix of trees and grasses. The grasses aren't terrain conforming, so depending on what angle you try and take your screenshots from, you might have some slightly hovering grasses here and there, which is a minor, excuse me, a minor thing. Nothing that I can't get over, but yes, I mean, grasses are great. You just got to be a little bit careful when on non-flat areas, and that could have been handled way worse than it was. It's just a minor observation, really. Heading down here, we've got just like more wetland areas. Just loving all of these areas. They've been just beautifully done. Great design as well. In fact, let me show you this design again. In terms of water flow, you can see how it starts up here, pushes down the river network here, exits maybe down there, and we've got another flow down here. It just, you can see it all flows left to right as we're looking at it, and almost something quite alien about it. It's quite sweet. I'm liking this, actually. This was unnecessary, and I'm glad it's in there because it just makes that coastline a little bit more interesting. It would have been just like a boring, straight old coastline, and that's just added a lot of life to the edge of the map over this side. Superb. This is over the other side. We've got big old beach. Everybody loves a big... No, that's bridge, isn't it? Anyway, we've got a nice beach here. Sandbar running down here as well. Little feature areas. Good tree detailing as well. Completely buy into the tree detailing on this map. So, good work. Right, okay. Now, other things to talk about and look at. We do have a few trees here and there. And this is a dirt track, and you're probably going, but I've seen one or two on tarmac. I can't remember where, but there are one or two trees hiding underneath the road networks, if that's the sort of thing that bothers you. And then we have lots of little featurette areas as well. Let's take a look at one down this one. Again, in terms of detailing, there's lots of it. It's to a decent standard without having to set the world alight with complexity and overdoing things. Just little things like that just make the map feel a little bit more alive already. We've got a little plantation here, a little plantation actually in the forest, in the jungle. And again, it just looks and feels right. I like that. Good work. We've also got a big old aerial here, mast, and it's just, again, I feel like we are just out in the Pacific Ocean or somewhere around there, maybe. Just feels right. Anyway, if we head down here, we've got a little bit, another tree in the road there. We've got a little bit of traffic coming down here. Obviously, these piers are worth a visit, I would say so. I don't mind them. Just see a little bit of glitching here that just doesn't quite work with the detail. What I'm going to do to fix this one, let me just do a quick fix. I'm going to use Move It. I think, how about we, rather than change the height of the pier, we just drop the road a little bit there. And I could drag it a bit closer to the pier entrance. Oh, look, even more. Down here for a proper visit. How sweet is that? Stop, do some fishing while you're down here. Okay, another little featurette area down here. Again, got a slight bit of detailing with the glitching. You can see how this truck is just drooped and draped over the ridge there. And that's the base plate of this, again, the vanilla burnt out shack. If we, again, we grab it, we're just going to drop it a couple, not even fully down to the ground. And maybe raise that road up a little bit instead of dragging it. There we go. Something like that. Just a little bit, again, we've still got a slight slope going up to the house. But it doesn't affect the vanilla prop in there, which I think just looks a little bit better. Anyways, it's all minor little things where there are things. It's a lovely layout, lots of complexity to it, and I think it's amazing. But what do you think? Is it a 1-star map? Is it a 5-star map? Is it somewhere in between? Your vote really does count. We use it at the end of the month for the Viewer's Choice Top 10. Will this be one of the top 10 maps of the month? Only you can decide. Hit the I button now or the link in the description will take you to the voting page where you can vote for free. But make sure you're voting on Gator Bend, because there are 2 maps today and you don't want to mix them up. Okay, what do I think of Gator Bend by Waikalua? Well, I think this is a definite improvement on their first map, Florida Spring, the one with the flamingo. Aesthetically, it's really strong. Personally, and I know we're going back to themes here, I think there's possibly a better theme for it than this one. Again, I'm not going to pick one out, but it's still, for me, a very high 4 stars. Excellent work. Detailing. Lots of interesting detailing without going to the next level. I love it. It's about the right balance. Can't go higher than a slightly above middle 4, but that's still an excellent score. And gameplay potential, I'm going to say exactly the same. It would be higher if we weren't going to have so much traffic issues from the off. But I think gameplay, we are good to go. Should be a lot of fun. Gator Bend by Waikalua. Do you know what? With all of those 4s, I'm going to have to give it the BonBonB seal of approval. There it is. Well done. That's superb. Now we've got something a little bit different coming up right up after this. And I promise you, it's even more iconic than this one. Can you believe that? And so on with today's second map. To say, what? Hang on. What? Why have we got moving graphics? Why? Oh, okay, right, sorry. It seems we're going to start off with the flyovers. Let's start with the flyover. This is unusual. This is Banana Islands by Windows 95. And we're doing this way round because there's a reveal. There is a reveal, and I want to save the reveal, which you would get from the off, which I don't want to do right now. So yes, see if you can absorb and enjoy the flyover that we've got here. Now, this is a creator we've done 7 times on the channel before. Episodes 537, 605, 726, 744, 858, 1011 and 1029, where they got 10, then 9, then 11, then 9, then 7, then 9, then 10, which means we probably have 9 on today's show, don't we? Every alternate review gets a 9-star. Now, this map was released in October 2019, and it's well, normally you get maps that are dated a little bit in that time. This map hasn't. This map has not dated at all. It feels as fresh as the day as it was released, and it's got everything in place. It has got one shot in the foot moment, which I think you're going to get to. You'll get to that point and you'll slap your forehead with your hand and go, oh, what did you go and do that for? But yes, who got one shot in the foot moment. The rest of it is, well, it's interesting. Now, we're using Alstrapicity map here, along with the realistic 1.2 LUT, because no other LUT was prescribed. And the Alstrapicity theme, the Alstrapicity theme was the recommended one for the map. And the map is like, now you can say, hang on, where are all the trees? Oh, that's covered. They do cover that in the description, which we will get to in a minute, I guess. But yes, we've got no trees on the map for a good reason. Now, you might want trees on the map, in which case, have fun. I reckon you've probably got about 262,000 trees to work with. Oh, excuse me. Anyway, trumpet intersection looks like that. And that's your start square area. And this is all very nice. Look down here. We've got a little bit of the old didgeridoo road there. We'll have a look at the moment. And now, one thing here. If you're playing 100% vanilla style, you won't be able to attach to either of those two. So you're probably going to want to have an Anarchy or a Move It for playing on this map. But yes, so that's kind of your start square area. And what you're going to want is slightly modded. It's slightly modded today, I feel. For other reasons as well, which we'll get to in a minute. Anyway, the rail follows alongside the road. And I know this is kind of disinteresting, but I'm going to do the flyover of the road and the rail anyway. And I might as well do that now. And then I'll do the reveal in a few seconds, I think. A few seconds? Yeah. Because, well, this map has an iconic feel to it. Something that, once seen, is never forgotten. And you can't make it out from ground level. Yes, it's one of those maps. One of those maps you have to go up in the air and look down on from above. And again, that would have been spoilt if we'd done that from the off. So anyway, the rail and the road come back together. I'm just showing the standards of the rail and the standards of the road. The standards are good. The standards are very, 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 very good. And Windows 95, formerly Deus Ex Machina, they've done a really good job with the road and rail. Now, let's do the reveal, okay? I'm going to say nothing. I'm going to say absolutely nothing. Apart from, if this isn't the most appealing map you've ever seen, then look. Shall we stop there? Okay. This is Banana Islands by Windows 95. The loading screen thumbnail was taken by night, as always. Wow, isn't it striking? There's your start square. You may have noticed something already. Yeah, that's the problem. We'll go and have a look at that in a minute. Terrain heights, it's perfectly flat, as you probably make out. A few little niggly numps and bumps around the map, but nothing too bad. Resources are good and strong, and the map looks even better in resource mode, I've got to say. Looks a little bit like a Warhol painting, doesn't it? And then if you've got Sunset Harbour and you want to do some fishing, your fishing map will look like that. Completely disinteresting, but hey, it's fine. Not always about the fish. Right, okay, off to the workshop. What do we need? Well, network extensions 2. There, it's a didgeridoo I mentioned. Al's Triplicity theme is there as well. And the realistic 1.2 LUT. There is a little note down here. That's all you need, by the way. That's all you need. Now, there's a little note at the bottom. It says, here we go, all connections available. All connections are available. And I'm sure those of experience have already noticed that kind of they're not. Kind of. But we will get to that. Okay, let's have a little look. First of all, let's check the aesthetics. The way this has been done is really very nice. We've even got a little bit of texturing in the terrain just to make the cliff pop out for that little air. It's just very, very cleverly done. I'm actually spellbound by the aesthetics on this. Absolutely spellbound. Anyway, let's just have a little look at the shipping routes while we're thinking about things. It's a little bit loopy. It's bananas and loopy at the same time. I don't know about these loops. I've never ever been a huge fan. You don't need loops. You don't. Just dead ends. That's all you need. This one is a bit bendy rather than loopy and follows the coast like so. At least it isn't loopy. I'd rather bendy than loopy. I think. Anyway, so you got that. Now, water flow in the start square. You don't need to worry too much about water flow. Where's the start square? It's over here. You don't need to worry too much about water because we've got water on both sides of the coast. One here, one over the other side. So you can pump and draw to your heart's content without any real concerns, which I guess is a plus. And also, the experienced players are going to say, why didn't you say it? Well, look, we're getting to it, okay? I'm building up to it. I'm building up to it. So the noobs can have that big, oh, I see what BonBon was going on about now. Well, they can if they want to. So anyway, yeah. But down the ground level, you can't really tell that it's a banana-shaped map. And yet, the standard's just lovely. Standards are, okay, trees. If you put trees along here, it becomes a little bit more complex. There aren't many people that can do that, are they, random? Anyway, trumpet intersection, start square intersection. Here we go. Let's do it now. Start square. Get rid of that. Thank you. Start square intersection is, well, outside of the start square. In fact, the start square doesn't have any connections. All connections are available. Doesn't have any connections there. So you're going to be playing an unlock game to be able to buy extra tiles or start with harbours. So that's the shot in the foot that I mentioned right at the start of today's show. Is it like a ooh moment? But is the map any good in your eyes? Is it a 1-star map? Is it a 5-star map? Is it somewhere in between? Your vote really does count. We use it at the end of the month for the Viewer's Choice Top 10. Will this be one of the top 10 maps of the month? Only you can decide. Hit the I button now or the link in the description. It will take you to the voting page where you can vote for free. Just make sure you're voting on Banana Islands by Windows 95. Right, aesthetically, well, it's iconic, it's crisp, it's clear. Do you know what? The design on this is really strong. The only reason why I'm not going to give it 5 stars is it's only really visible from above, and I don't feel there's just I can't give it a 5th star. Look, I'm saying that. I'm going for a very high 4. Detailing. there's not really much to talk about, is there? The standards are high, and there's nothing to complain about, but nothing to take it to a next level. So I can't even go middle 3. I'm gonna have to go. No, I'm going middle 3. Just slap it in the middle. Nothing to complain about. Gameplay potential. Given that we've not been instructed about the fact that there's no access to the start square without modding, I think we've got to go for a low 2 stars. It's not strictly broken. But yeah. Banana Islands by Windows 95. Iconic, one you will not forget, and one that's going to fade to black in a moment. Bye bye bananas. We've had some fun. Oh, end of the day. Bananas, pyjamas, BonBonB. Oh, there's a thought for you. Thomas the Tank Engine onesie. Anyway, thanks for watching, for commenting, for liking, and for subscribing. It's time for me to go now. But before you do, can you use the word of the day to prove you're part of the 20 and out elites? You know what the word of the day is, don't you? I've already told you it, and it's on the screen now. Use your eyes and don't be lazy. Make a comment. Off you go. See you very soon. Thanks for watching.